Hey everybody, I just wanted to catch up on where I was at with the Ruger 1022 project. I have started some work here on adding the sling swivel studs to the stock, and I just wanted to show you kind of how I did that. Now, to start off with, this is a synthetic stock, and it's not very thick on the bottom, and I'll show you that, and it's not very thick down here in the buttstock either. Adding a swivel stud pretty much requires that you at least have a 1/4 inch of material on the stock to bite into. So let me show you what I did here just real quick. I ended up needing some material to add to the bottom of this so I could put the sling swivel nut through. So what I did was I had an old Tapco handle, and you can see I cut a nice big chunk out of that. I ended up cutting that chunk out with a bandsaw, and then I shaped it using my belt sander. So let me show you what I did. If you look in here, you can see there's a piece in there now, and that nut is countersunk in that. And let me see if I can get a better angle. But if you look at it, it's the shape of the stock, it's rounded, and it's got kind of that tapered trapezoid shape to it, so it can fit in there as the stock narrows to the front. I ended up epoxying that into place, and it fits in great. I haven't had a problem with it. I did notice one thing though. The inside of the stock has almost like a clear coating on it, or it's just not rough at all. I ended up having to rough that up with my Dremel pretty good so I could get a good base to glue to. So that's just something to note if you give this a try. You know, the other thing that's nice about a synthetic stock is to line up your stud holes. You don't have to work that hard. And let me see if I can get it to focus here. I don't know if you can see it. You kinda can, but there's that faint line going down the middle where that was in the production mold. You can use that as your center line in most cases, but you're still going to want to measure and check it. So here's what I did. I ended up flipping this over, and I used a center punch, and I marked my holes. Then I used a tiny drill bit and drilled a small starter pilot hole. And then I got on Brownell's website, and I got some stepped drill bits that you can use to drill these holes for the swivels. And these work great. They're the right size, the right depth, and they have a depth gauge on them so you know how deep you're going with your countersink. I ended up buying these GT locking swivel set. Ooh. And that's what these are. So after I got both my holes drilled, and the front hole drilled rather easily, and I'll show you here, I got the front hole pretty much dead smack in the middle where I wanted it. Now, even though I drilled a pilot hole in the back, you can notice it walked just a little bit. Now it's just a sling, and you know, it doesn't have to be spot on perfect. It's probably only about a 1/16 of an inch off, but you know, they do make jigs for drilling those holes, and you know, lesson learned. I'll make sure I use one next time, but it's not going to bother me. It's just a sling, you know, and you don't learn without making a mistake. So the studs are in. And just to show you one other quick thing, one thing I did to screw these in and make them easy, I don't know if you guys have seen this trick before, but if you take a punch and you stick it through the hole, when you go to tighten these up, you can just crank it around really fast, and that works really great. Tightens them down just right. This specific set came with some spacers, and I went ahead and used them just because I like the offset color look. So that's the front, and then here's the back. And I went ahead and I epoxied this one in just because there wasn't much handle material here to work with. So that's it. So far that's the project. Hopefully I'll get started on the trigger work next, and I'll keep you guys updated on how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.